Hello folks, are you ready to unlock the full potential of metaprogramming in JavaScript? Today we dive deep into a tool so versatile that it could easily be called the Swiss Army knife of JavaScript, the Reflect API. Imagine having a toolbox that could manipulate object properties and function with precision and elegance, all the while adhering to the fundamental principle of the language. That's the Reflect API. Stay tuned as we unravel the mystery of the Reflect API and why it's an indispensable part of modern JavaScript development. So don't waste time and let's get started! Let's start with the three core objectives of the Reflect API. The first one is the introspection. Reflect allows you to delve into an object properties and characteristics, enable you to perform introspective tasks like checking properties existence or retrieve property descriptors. The second one is the manipulation. Think of Reflect as your Swiss Army knife for object operation. You can easily add, delete or modify object properties and even trap or monitor these operations. The last one is the extensibility. Reflect API can be seen as a foundational layer that sets the stage of creating proxies objects, empowering you to build custom behavior for basic operation, like property lookup, assignment, enumeration, and more. Okay, let's start to taking a look into the reflect method. The first one is the reflect apply method. If you found the function.prototype.apply a bit complex, you can forget it and use the reflect apply method. Then, invoking a function will be a breeze. Using the Reflect API, you can also get a specific property from an object using the reflect.get method. You can also set a specific property in an object using the reflect.set method. In this case, you have to pass the object, the name of the property, and the value that you want to set. Then you can also define a property using the reflect.defineProperty, and the signature is equal to the object.defineProperty already seen in the previous video. And then you can also remove a property using the reflect.deleteProperty exposed by the Reflect API. It's important to remember that the delete property returns a boolean, so if the Reflect is able to delete the property, return a value equals to true, else return false. Then you can also describe all the keys of your object, and using the reflect.ownKeys you can get all the keys in your object, and this method returns the keys but also the including symbol in the object. But now you might be asking yourself, why should I dive into the Reflect API when there are other ways to manipulate and inspect JavaScript objects? Great question, so let's dive into the answer of this question. The first motivation is the functional paradigm. The Reflect API offers static methods that embrace the functional programming paradigm, making them first-class citizens that you can pass around in your code, like in this example. The second one is the enhanced error handling. Unlike methods in the Object API that often throw errors, Reflect method returns a boolean to indicate success or failure, allowing for more elegant error handling. So for instance, we can use the reflect.set API and you can check if a property was set successfully and proceed accordingly. The third one is the proxy integration. Reflect and proxy are two peas in a pod. The methods available in Reflect align perfectly with the proxy traps, allowing for seamless and straightforward custom behavior. For example, creating a logging proxy becomes ridiculously simple. The fourth one is the consistency and predictability. Methods in Reflect offer a more consistent API. They always return value, often boolean, instead of throwing error, and the parameter order are predictable, leading to cleaner and more maintainable code. For example, both reflect.get and reflect.set have a consistency argument ordering target, properties key, and receiver. The fifth motivation is the intuitive and self-documenting. Reflect methods are often more intuitive and self-documenting than their object counterparts. This readability makes it easy for developer, new and old one, to understand the code. For example, compare the reflect.home keys with the object.getHomeProperties name and the object.getHomeProperties simple. Which one do you find more intuitive? Probably the first one. And that's, my fellow developer, is how the Reflect API transforms the way we interact with JavaScript. Today we only scratched the surface of its potential, yet you've seen its power to manipulate and inspect your code like never before. But now it's your turn. Take this concept, experiment with them, and integrate them in your next project. And remember, the journey to mastering JavaScript is ongoing, and tools like Reflect are your allies along the way. If you found this deep dive illuminated, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more JavaScript journeys. Have you questions or insight? Drop them in the comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep coding smart and keep coding passionate. See you, bye bye!